Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. I'm Kim Spillers.
I'm Frank Spillers, and this is Rural Community Solutions TV live stream, and we're glad that you're here.
Yes, we are. So this is Cece. For those of you on the podcast, I'm holding a stuffed raccoon who's our mascot for Rural Community Solutions. She helps us welcome, understand, comfort, and appreciate ourselves and others, because that's what makes fabulous relationships. And it's something that it's good to live through every day of your life. So I'm going to set her aside because that's exactly what she does, is kind of keep us on track. So thanks for joining us this morning.
We're glad you're here today, and we're going to be talking about success principles. We're going to be talking about 8 steps, 8 actions, basically, that you can take that think like an entrepreneur. And the Sparkplugs that you can become. You know, in creating Sparkplugs, what we want you to think about is what a Sparkplug does to your automobile. All right. We use a formula here at Rural Community Solutions called CAR, C plus A equals R, or how are you driving your car? CAR is a formula, C plus A equals R, which means your circumstances plus your actions. So your circumstances where you're in right now, plus the actions that you take, get the results that you get. Mm-hmm. It's any action that you have will get you the results that you get. Here at Rural Community Solutions, what we help people do is get the results that they want by taking the correct actions. So helping them choose the results, moving them forward towards those results, and then helping them with the actions that they can take to get those results. So there are some certain things that we have found out that will help communities, that will help individuals think like an entrepreneur, that attract entrepreneurs. Because here at Rural Community Solutions, what we do is we design family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people that will think like an entrepreneur, people that will be an entrepreneur, people that might have a home-based business and want to start up in your community, people that might bring their business to your community because they can live any place that they want and they can do business and run their business from any place. Like that, we run our business out of our home. So this is the economy that is starting to grow now because people are choosing where they want to live. So it's up to your community to decide what type of community it wants. What type of person do you want to attract? What actions do you want to take that are going to move you forward to get the results that you want? And it's like a saying that I just saw just a few minutes ago before we came on the air, is that you can't expect to feel like $1 million if you continue to order from the dollar menu. Okay? So think about that. Now, this was a nutrition post, but we help create healthy communities. And if you watched one of our episodes last week, it was all about feeding your gut and feeding your mind to make you a whole, healthy community. But think about that saying that if you want to feel like $1 million, if you want to be a $1 million community, you have to stop ordering and feeding from the dollar menu. In other words, you have to look at the long term. You have to make $1 million decisions and $1 million actions that are going to get you to the result that you want to help you feel like $1 million. That's what it is. Now, also yesterday on our show, we talked about culture. And we had one of our listeners, great friend of ours, Gil Gillespie, who sent us, he is a retired professor from Cornell University out in Ithaca, New York. And he and his wife are living here just on a homestead just north of us. And great people. And he's a sociologist, but he sent us his glossary of basic sociological Sociological.
You said it right.
Yeah, sorry, Gil. Sociological
There you go.
concepts, okay, of his definitions that he helps his students start with. This is his basic course. And so he sent this definition of culture to me, and I just want to share it with you as we look at the tenets of what culture is. Now, here's what Gil writes. Culture is an important part of a social structure. Culture includes ideas, values, behavioral rules, or social norms. We talked about social norms yesterday. Knowledge, customs, skills, and beliefs that are learned and passed on by members of a society. Reproducing social structure. Social structure is another definition that is above this, that is more informal. Right? Social structure is almost a perception of the community, and it is allowed by that because of the perception of a community. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But culture is learned by individual members of a group or society through the socialization process. Culture facilitates and shapes interaction among the members of a group or society by providing shared conceptions and shared understandings of the relationship between these. Some elements of culture are embodied in artifacts, traditions. Here is this, here in Iowa, what we have is called the Freedom Rock. That has created a new culture around a person that goes around and paints a huge boulder in every county, 99 counties across the state, repaints it every year with a scene that will embody what America means to him at that point in time. It's a great culture that's starting. It's a great tradition that's starting. And it only exists in the minds of those who share the culture. So those of you that might not have a Freedom Rock outside of Iowa, you wouldn't know what that culture is starting to build. All right. So that is a tradition. That is one of the cultures that we are starting to build here. So that is what culture looks like. It includes, though, these thoughts. It's the ideas, the values, behavioral rules. Okay, so behavioral rules, which are social norms, knowledge, customs, skills, and beliefs. Right? And those ideas and those principles and those values that you have within your community all create your culture. So why is this important? Because your culture is the foundation of your community building. If you don't understand your culture, you don't understand where it came from, you can't use it to move forward to get the results that you want. Because based upon the culture, you are going to do the same things. And as Einstein said, doing the same things in the same way, but expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So you need to understand your circumstances. You need to understand where you're coming from before you can start building the actions to move you forward to get the results that you want. Okay, and so today we're going to be talking about actions. What actions can you take to get those results that you want? So first of all, you need the results. What results do you want? Okay, that's called the collaborative vision. That is, what is your perfect picture of the future you wish to create? And we went through that a couple episodes ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on there. Okay, so what are those actions? What are those results that you want? All right. So some of those actions, here's the 8 actions that you want. Passion. First action is passion. A spark plug has a passion for the community. A spark plug has a vision for what it could be and a passion to help the community become what it can be. Now, an entrepreneur also has a passion. It has a passion to create that environment. It has a passion to create the economy. It has a passion to create a solution that will help build the world. That's what passion is. That is what an entrepreneur does. And this is what a spark plug needs to have, is that passion. Sparkplug also needs persistence. Just like an entrepreneur, the persistence of an entrepreneur needs to be ingrained. That needs to be a part of that entrepreneur. Persistence is more of you're going to run into barriers. You're going to run into situations that might stop your movement. It might create a detour. You're driving your car, specifically during the summer seasons. You're driving your car. What are you going to run into all the time?
Road construction.
Da-da-da.
Yep.
It's what we call the second summer season. Here is road construction. All right. And so as you hit that road construction, your map, your trip, your planned trip might have that detour. Well, if you've ever looked at the roadmap of an entrepreneur, that roadmap is not from here to there. It's not that the quickest point from points is that straight line. It's a straight line. There is no straight line in entrepreneurship. There is nothing there that you can go from here to there straight. So you will hit barriers. You will hit detours all the time. So you want to have persistence. Persistence in you will create the environment that will get you to the results that you want.
Another element of persistence is that you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your mission. You have to believe in what you're doing and that it contributes to the world. And like Frank said, it can be challenging at times, but you need to keep believing that you are here to serve the purpose that you have put before yourself. And you just keep on keeping on, and that will help see you through as one of the elements of success.
Number 3 that I want to talk about is focus. Focus on the result that you want. Now, focus is an action that takes a lot of discipline in where you're going. Focus is you block out all of the outside forces that will try to divert your attention. Sometimes in entrepreneurship world, we call those squirrel moments. They will try to refocus you to do different things. So focusing on the result that you want is a vision, is an action that you take that creates that picture and keeps that picture in front of you. Now, how do entrepreneurs focus, and how do Sparkplugs focus? Is one way to focus is by the affirmation. You write down your vision, you write it down clearly, and you post it. You post it in front of you, and it becomes your affirmation. This is the world that you are going to get to. This is your goal. This is what you see. And by focusing on that and keeping it in front of you and your community, your group, it keeps that focus to where everybody knows exactly why they're working for what they're working for. That is that shared vision. That's where you want people to move. When people share that vision and they're moving forward, then it's everybody's on the same bus, everybody's on the same car, and you're moving everybody towards that result. Right? And so focus is a talent. Focus is a way that you need to act to get that result. And so learn how to focus. These actions are not common. These actions are not built into everybody. Sometimes you have to practice these actions to get those results that you want. It's a habit. It is creating an actionable habit. Habits that will get you those results. All right. Another idea or another area is ideas. How does a spark plug have ideas, but also how does a spark plug bring ideas out of people that engage them in the idea of moving forward towards that result? You know, in chamber world, we have a saying that if they help write it, they will underwrite it. In other words, if some of their ideas are incorporated in moving forward, in getting to that vision, that will engage them enough to help them move forward and be engaged and be proud of they were a part of achieving that goal. They need to be a part of it, and their ideas need to be taken seriously as they engage. And so as we look at our 4 pillars of relationships, engagement, entrepreneurship, and collaboration, these actions are incorporated in those pillars to help your community then support in where they are going and what they need to do, what they need to be, and what they need to do. But they need spark plugs, and so spark plugs need to incorporate these actions to help other people be engaged in getting your community to where it needs to go. Another thing a spark plug needs to do is push. Now, this might seem just a little bit negative to some people, but a spark plug needs to know where to push. They need to know who to push a little forward, because people get in their comfort zones. People see themselves in a certain way, but a spark plug sees a person differently. They see their talents and abilities, and they see what they can become, not who that person thinks they are. And so a spark plug will gently push, sometimes a little more aggressive, push an individual, push a group, push a community to where it can be. So spark plugs and entrepreneurs aren't there for a popularity contest. They are there to get their passion going, to build that persistence, to move them forward, to see where those benefits are, to get those results. Because that spark plug knows what the vision is and has helped people craft that vision and knows what needs to be done to get people to that vision. So that spark plug can gently push, can aggressively push people to get to where they need to go. Also, they serve. They serve. A spark plug has a servant's heart. They serve people. The spark plug cannot be in it for themselves, selfishly. A spark plug is in it for the community. An entrepreneur is in it to serve. All right, is building a business to help other people become better. That's what entrepreneurship is. An entrepreneur will see a solution, see an opportunity, provide a solution that will better the world. They just happen to get paid for it. There is not an entrepreneur out there, a successful entrepreneur out there, that is in it just for the money. They are in it to serve mankind, to provide a service to other people that will make their lives better. Right? The dishwasher was not invented, not thought of to make a lot of money for the inventor. The dishwasher was invented to make it easier for families to do the dishes, so families could spend more time together. What's the value behind that? Okay, is family, is building relationships. What's the value behind the service that you provide? That is serve. That is, what are you doing to provide that value to mankind, to your community, that is going to make it better, to serve family friendly and youth centered. That's an action of serve. Okay. So we've talked about passion. We've talked about persistence. We've talked about ideas. We've talked about focus. We've talked about serve, right? Did we talk about push? We talked about push. So we've got 7. We only have one more, right?
Work and civility.
Oh, we have two more. Okay. All right.
We have a screen.
We have a screen there. See, they're all jumbled up and I kind of jumped around. Focus. Focus. An entrepreneur and a spark plug works. They work at building those relationships. They work at moving forward, and they work to do all these other actions to build that result and to move the car forward that's going to get that result. It is not easy. Work is the long haul. Persistence is the long haul. You have to see not just next year, you have to see and look at and work towards what is coming in 25 years. That's the work that it's going to take, because this is actually cultural changing. This is cultural changing of the ideas, the abilities, the social norms, because you are changing the way your community looks at itself, and you're changing the way the community reacts. They react the way they have been trained to react all the way through the community's existence. They have been trained. Your community reacts and acts the way it has been trained, just like a child starting to grow up. It is trained in the environment to act and to work the way they have been trained to. Right? And so the spark plug and the entrepreneur, to think like an entrepreneur, needs to really dig in and work towards the long-term changing of the environment that is going to help get the result that they want. Because you are only wanting to change the result because you're not content with the results that you have right now. You're not content with the circumstances. If you are content with the circumstances, then you don't need this. If you are content where your community is, if you are content with what's happening in your community, then you don't need these actions. You don't need to take these actions, because you will get the results that you've got. You will always get those results because you're content with the circumstances you're in. The final action that I really want to talk about today is a spark plug to think like an entrepreneur thinks civility. They think, how can we get along, not creating disruption, creating division, and creating an environment to where they say, this is how I'm going to do it. Right? A spark plug will say, how do we collaborate? How can I use people? And I say use in a very positive term. How can I use all these people and their talents and abilities to get the results that we see, that we create, that vision? And by doing that, we need a civil environment. We need to build that civility to where people get along, where people are moving forward. Now, civility doesn't mean that everybody agrees. Civility doesn't mean that I might not agree with every decision that's made. Civility means that I will not cause a disruption. I will not cause and put up barriers that cause divisions to happen. I will not create actions that create that environment. That's what really civility means, is how do we move forward on that, right? So if you take all of these 8 actions, if you take your passion, if you take your persistence, if you take work, if you take your ideas, you push them, you gently push forward in a serving manner with extreme focus and building an environment that promotes civility, you will move your car towards success. These are the 8 actions that we have identified that move your car towards success. It will change your circumstances to get the results that you want. Right? And so here at Rural Community Solutions, we want to invite you to have a conversation with us. Give us a shout out, or there's our email, frank@ghorizons, or
Kim at G Horizons.
And just let us know what
.com.
you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking. And you can even include CC. email Cece through us if you want.
That would be fun.
And give us some ideas on how you see these 8 actions helping your community or helping to change your environment that you're living in. All right, we'd love to know on that. Also, give us a shout out if you are interested in. We are building a membership program. We are building a process, a class that will take you through some steps that will help you be a spark plug in your community. Now, before the COVID event that stopped us from moving forward here in our business, we traveled. We did in-person live workshops, and we helped communities do all this. But since COVID, we haven't been traveling. Communities have not been meeting. But what we have done is we have transitioned into how we deliver our content now to allow individuals to be a part of the process that we will help them train to be a spark plug within your community. How do you become that spark plug? What is that content that I can do, that I can learn? And we will help you. We will coach you. We will move you all the way through. And so if you're interested, give us an email, let us know, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. That's Rural Community Solutions TV YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, but continue getting this content. And then also you can get this as a podcast at anchor.fm/Frank Spillers. And it will be in a podcast form. Today's episode will be tomorrow's podcast.
So exciting. Want to make sure that you know that tomorrow we have a very exciting guest who's going to be with us. Jack Gardner is from Marion, Indiana. He's a friend of ours, and he is a spark plug. You will want to be sure to listen in tomorrow at 11:30 Central Daylight Time to our show, because Jack's going to talk about being a spark plug in a community. He's going to weave in some things about Disney style. He has worked with the Disney Corporation, and he is just a very genuine, excited man who does great things for his community. So he's going to be our guest tomorrow. Hope you join us.
And Jack is an entrepreneur. He owns bed and breakfast.
Yes,
he has built a bed and breakfast based upon his entrepreneurial skills. A very successful, a really nice one also. We've stayed there many times when we traveled to Indiana in that area. And it's just great. He's a consummate host on that. So we really appreciate it. We look forward to tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Join us again as we interview Jack Gardner, who is a spark plug and owner of the college in bed and breakfast out of Marion, Indiana. So it's going to be a fun time. And I'm Frank Spillers.
And I'm Kim Spillers.
This has been Rural Community Solutions TV live stream, where we help communities design family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people.
Cece wishes you a fabulous day. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Have a great week, guys. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.